It had been the worst day of my life. The ghosts, traditional ghosts in traditional white sheets, had turned my office into a shambles. Papers and files were scattered everywhere, some folded into paper airplanes. Doors and drawers kept slamming open and shut, while the lights kept flicking on and off, generally off. The fire alarms went off so many times, I lost count, and the overall noise was so loud, it completely shut down any thinking I was capable of. Oh, and the computers? Forget about it. Every time I tried to log in, I was taken to a porn site. I lasted until shortly after 1 p.m., and I was the last one left. By that point, all the computers were playing weird spectral music. I ended up walking home. The buses were no longer running, and indeed the streets were deserted. Everyone was hiding. The traffic lights had gone completely nuts, flicking from green to red to yellow, but also to blue and purple and orange and black. Halloween colors. And all the way home, I was harassed by ghosts who dive bombed me or floated up to scream, "Boo!" The first thing I did when I got home was to pour myself a stiff drink. But no sooner had I put my glass down on the table when all the liquid in it disappeared. Some spirit was getting drunk on my spirits. I did manage to make myself a bologna sandwich and to scarf it down before they could mess with it. That and some Pringles were my dinner. Ketchup-flavored Pringles, no less. I went to bed as soon as the darkness had taken control. What else could I do? I just lay down on the bare mattress with all my clothes on and believe it or not, in spite of all the hideous cacophony, the boos and the shrieks, I fell into a light and troubled sleep and dreamed. I dreamed I was walking through a grim and barren countryside where there were few trees and where dirt hills met an overcast sky. The predominant colors were brown and gray, and there, off in the distance, I saw the dark figure of my old lover, running to me with her arms outstretched. I ran to her, my poor wounded heart pulsing with love, and just as I reached out to her, just as I reached for her, I fell with a crash onto the mattress. I had been levitating somewhere up by the ceiling. That did it. I started yelling loud enough to shake the house and maybe wake the dead. And I had a sudden inspiration, which I admit may have come from the devil. I threw a white bedsheet over my head and ran down the hall screaming, "Boo! Boo! Boo! You think it's so funny to yell at people? Boo! 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 It isn't even original. Boo! Boo! Boo!" I ran through the living room and into the kitchen, the whole time booing and bawling and bawling and booing, until I suddenly became aware that everything had gone silent, deathly silent. I looked around. not a white sheet in sight. It appeared they were gone, but no, 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 no. It must be a trick, it must be. I walked back through the living room. No ghosties. I checked out the bathroom and the other rooms before returning to the bedroom. Nothing. I collapsed back onto the mattress in sheer exhaustion and suddenly realized I was still bundled up in my white bedsheet. It was still pulled over my head. And I began to wonder, where did they go? Why did they go? It had to be a trick, but I waited 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, nothing. They'd left. But why? And then it came to me. But no, nope. It couldn't be. Nah. But there was one way to find out. I could hear them outside, the dead making enough noise to wake the dead, to wake themselves up. Oh, never mind. As the white sheet was still over my head, I walked down the hall, through the front door, and out into the street. The spectral host all turned to stare at me as I said, very loudly, "Boo! Boo! I'm a ghosty! I'm a ghosty!" I said some other stuff too, and even sang some obscene songs. I even did that vocal exercise from that drama class I had to take in college. Baby bye bo boo, 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 baby bye bo boo. Gosh, that's exhausting. I ran down the street, waving my arms and jumping up and down, and they scattered. They all scattered. Some running, some flying away, and some just vanishing into thin air. I ran all the way to the end of the street, driving the spirits before me, only to have one of my neighbors open their front door and yell, "Aren't things bad enough with all these bloody ghosts without you making noise too?" They're gone. The ghosts have gone west. Okay, we live in the west. So they've gone wester. What? I know it sounds stupid, but I think I scared them. What? By putting a bedsheet over your head and yelling boo? Well, there's only one way to find out. Grab a white sheet and join me. So my neighbor, whose name turned out to be Bob and I went around the neighborhood scaring away phantoms. Anytime we saw them, we'd pull our sheets over our heads, yell boo, and they would scatter. Soon other people joined us, and after a while, it was quite a party atmosphere. Somebody called the local radio station, which had been playing shrieks, gibberish, and farty noises all evening, and soon we had lots of media there. I told the assembled reporters, Tell everyone, everybody in town, to put on a white sheet and go around yelling boo. I don't know why, but it makes them go away. Don't bother and try to make sense of it. Just do it." And so they did. Everybody in town did. And soon our town was free of those annoying ghosties, but once again, the floating skull drifted into my bedroom in the middle of the night, hovering over me as it intoned in its dreary voice, "Foolish foolish mortal, you think you have frightened us away with your childish antics, running around with white sheets over your heads and yelling boo. No, no, no. The reason we left is because you, the living, have finally acknowledged us. You have paid homage to us, and so we, the dead, are content for now. But you must continue to acknowledge us in public. I will be back, and there's more of us dead than there are of you, the living. So farewell for now, and boo. I took him, or it, I took it at its word. I mean, who wants to argue with a floating skull? And so, this Halloween, as soon as the darkness takes control, everyone in this neighborhood will be pulling white bed sheets over their heads, while all the kids will go trick-or-treating, dressed as traditional ghosts. We will then wind things up with a candlelight ghost processional. Black and orange candles, of course. A peace offering to the dead. And I hope it will work, for if the spirits return to torment us, if the spirits come back, my only recourse will be to turn to booze. Boo! The moral of the story? If you should visit a haunted house on Halloween, beware of cold drafts. Cold drafts, because you may end up 3 sheets to the wind. If this is your first visit to my channel, please consider subscribing. My name is Warren, and I write and tell original ghost stories and original horror stories featuring such cryptids as the Night Floaters, werewolves, and the Black-Eyed Children. So again, please consider subscribing. Please help me to reach my goal of 2,500 subs. Till midnight. Cheers. Pictures used in today's video, courtesy of Pix Here, that's PX Here, while the music was the classic Ghost Story, although I was tempted to use Ghost Processional, both by that patron of the internet, Kevin MacLeod. And boy, I hope I don't have to do any re-recording. Those boos are hard on the throat. Baby, bye, bo. Boo!